So I've got an hour and a bit before the kids come back from tennis. Excuse the wet hair, I've just been for a run and had a shower. So I'm going to be cutting out one of my new dresses, taffeta it's called, which is being made ironically out of like a taffeta type of fabric. Here is my fabric all rolled out, ready to go, ready to start cutting. I've got 8.2 meters for this dress. The whole dress is going to be in just one fabric, which is quite unusual for me. Right, this is going to take a lot of concentration. So I thought I'd just give you a little tip when cutting out. It's really important to know where your grain line is on your fabric. So this is my fabric, comes on a big roll like this. This is your selvage, which is, this is the way that the fabric is woven across like that. That's your cross grain. This is my grain line where the selvage is running. So when you're cutting it out, you need to use your grain line and measure it against the grain line on your fabric. Use a tape measure. So here's my grain line here, and then measure it, so that's 17. Once you've pinned it all, you can start cutting. You get your scissors. Really important not to pick the fabric up when you cut. So you have to cut with the scissors flat to the table. Once I've cut something out, here's my lay plan, I tick it and highlight it so I know that it's been cut out, and I obviously don't put your marker pen on the fabric. You've got to remember where the top of your fabric is. So the top of your roll, really important that you always have all your pattern pieces going the same way, because depending on which way your fabric is lying, up or down, the light is going to be on it differently on the grain. So then it will look slightly different. You know, like sometimes you have fabric going one way and it looks shiny, but the other way looks matte. So you don't want one skirt panel looking matte and the other side looking shiny. So I've just started cutting out all the bodice pieces and my back skirt, which is this big pattern piece here. But what I wanted to show you is that what happens to the grain of the fabric. Texture of the fabric, it has almost like a little stripe running down it like that, which I didn't want on the bodice was to have the stripe going horizontal across like that, because a horizontal line makes you look a little bit wider, doesn't it? Another note to self, don't wear a black jumper when cutting out ivory fabric. So I'm just coming to the end of cutting this dress out, and it's always a massive relief when you realise you've ordered enough fabric. Is how much fabric I've got left. So that was the dress. These are all the scraps that I've got left. But luckily Halloween's coming up and my youngest son wants to be a mummy. So perfect, every cloud.